Wow. Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Carnage. And we got another Madrid hype for you guys right here on the channel. Day after a big game. Day after picking up 3 points in the brand new Champions League format. Shout out to everybody that's in here, man. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. Make sure that those post notifications are turned on so you guys don't miss anytime I drop a new video or I go live. But big up, man. Big up. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, right? We still got to talk about what happened during that Stuttgart game, right? I want your opinions on the match, right? Shout out to everybody that did tune into that match reaction that I dropped afterwards. But I need you guys to, tell me if you have any new opinions on the game. You know how as soon as the game ends, right? When you're thinking about what you want to say, when everything's being processed, it's like you just go 100 miles per hour. But then when you actually get some time to sit back and think about it, you might end up coming up with some new conclusions of things that you didn't see or things that you want to double down on, right? So we still got to talk about that game. Obviously picked up 3 points and I'm still not happy with that performance, chat. I'm gonna be completely real with you. I'm not happy with it at all. I think that we were absolutely shit. And getting outplayed like that against Stuttgart at home, Bernabeu, Champions League night, it's our competition. I thought things were gonna start to turn around tomorrow, but it looked like more of the same from what we saw basically this entire season. So we'll get into that, right? These Rodri links, they're not going away. They're not going away. I mean, I don't know how many more times I want to talk about Rodri, a player that I don't want at the club, right? We also got to talk about Miguel Gutiérrez, right? The Girona left back from our academy that we sold to them before last season started. There may be a possibility of maybe flipping him. And then I'm also seeing some reports that Madrid want a midfielder next summer. Maybe somebody that could play that Toni Kroos role. I don't know. But, nah, man, look, big up to your damn selves. What's going on, Adam? My guy. We also will be back later today. We are going to be doing Man City versus Inter Milan. That watch-along should be lit. It's a really good game on paper, right? I'm really interested to see how Haaland's going to do against that Inter defense. And we kind of saw it in that Champions League final, but both teams are a lot better than what they were back then, in my opinion. So let me see. We could talk about the performance from yesterday. Even though I did not watch the game, I was doing job training at a grocery store. So you can get a job. All right, look, man, big up. Look, man, that's good, bro. I hope that you do get the job, right? And that's dope, Adam. That's dope, man. I used to work at a grocery store when I was a little younger. I actually worked at a few grocery stores. I used to do deli. I used to do seafood department and then a little bit of cashier. But the best was seafood because it wasn't really that busy. And I used to eat a lot of shrimp. Yeah, man. A little Old Bay seasoning on it. But, yeah, nah, man. Big up, Adam. And then what's going on, bro? Bobby is lit. Yeah, we are going to talk about Endrick because I think that this guy deserves more minutes. Even though Madrid needs to improve the away record, not as good as home. Yeah, I mean, the one positive that you could look at for this season so far is we haven't lost a game, right? We're scumbagging these wins, but at least we haven't lost, right? I'm going to be watching Coventry smack up Spurs, but I'll tune into your watch along later, bro. Yo, what's going on, Jordan? Coventry versus Spurs. That should be a good game, right? We saw Coventry give Manchester United a run for their money. And what was it? The FA Cup semifinal? Was it semifinals? Or was it like the round before that? I swear it was the semis. But, yeah, that should be a good one. But, nah, come on, Jordan. You guys will more than likely smack up Coventry. Like, there's just no way. I definitely view that game as a bounce-back one for Tottenham. But, yo, let's just get straight into the little match recap, right? So, yesterday, beat Stuttgart 3-1, right? And I think the scoreline is very deceiving to how the game actually went. I don't think that we played well. I think yesterday was another embarrassing performance. That first half was awful. We were getting cooked. Stuttgart are sitting 10th right now in the Bundesliga. They've lost one game. They've won a game. They drew a game. They've conceded 7 goals in their first 3 matches. And they looked like prime Barcelona out there last night. They looked like they were the team that had all the experience in the Champions League. I couldn't believe it. And I say I couldn't believe it, but maybe I could now that I'm thinking about it, because we always start off slow. Every single game, we start slow. Why is that? We are literally second half FC. And if it was not for Courtois, who had a man of the match performance, we lose that game yesterday. We're down at least 2-0 before we even would have got our first. Courtois, I can't say enough about this guy. Best goalkeeper in the world. Absolutely phenomenal. This guy came back from his ACL injury, and he looks better. I told you, since the first preseason game against AC Milan, he's been on great form. He's the only player this season, him and maybe Valverde, and then I'd say Tchouaméni. They're the only players that every game this season, they've put in a shift. But, I mean, how many times can we rely on him to save us? Our style of play is not sustainable. We're scumbagging these points. But I'm telling you, when we go up against a good team, we're going to get battered. If our form does not change, we are going to get battered. We've played nobody yet. Look at our recent run of games. Mallorca, we dropped points. Valladolid, we scumbagged 3 points. Las Palmas, we dropped points. Like Real Betis, we struggled a little bit. The performance wasn't good, but we got the 3 points. Real Sociedad, they should have beat us. They hit the post 3 times. And then against Stuttgart, we were getting cooked. How we are playing is not sustainable. And it pisses me off because I'm seeing accounts on Twitter, and I'm talking about some pretty big Madrid counts. They're real shameless online. Talking about, oh, fans are crying or rival tears because they're saying that we're getting outplayed, but we don't care. How do you not care? We've played nobody, and we're barely getting by. We're crawling to the finish line. We're getting battered. Imagine if we would have played Barcelona. Imagine if we would have played Atletico. What about Liverpool? Dortmund? AC Milan? Imagine we had to play against our Arsenal, Man City. Any team that has good quality are going to kill us. And I see it coming a mile away. But I get told that I'm negative. Why can't I call these performances out? Courtois is the reason that we have not lost this season. The post is the reason why we have not lost against Real Sociedad. I couldn't believe how well Stuttgart were playing. And I got to give them some credit. They're not a big team. They don't have a big budget. They don't spend a lot of money. And look at the style of play that they had. Look at how they were just running through our midfield. Look at how they were just opening up our defense. We're just lucky that these guys can't finish. We're lucky that they don't have the quality to put the ball into the back of the net. We're lucky that Courtois is the best goalkeeper in the world. Because if it wasn't for him, I'm telling you we don't win that game. And as things stand right now, we're not winning the Champions League. We're not going to win La Liga. If these performances don't pick up real quick, the best we could hope for is maybe one of the domestic cups, maybe the Spanish Super Cup, maybe a Copa del Rey. But we got some holes in this team. And I think the board have set us up to fail. Poor team building. This summer, yeah, it was nice bringing in Mbappe. And that was something that distracted the fans. But I was there calling out, yo, no center back? No deep line playmaker in midfield? Like, we're just not going to address these areas? No? Okay. I was still optimistic. But, I mean, wow. Wow. I mean, we can get into the performance, right? I want to show you guys the ratings again. I want to show you how numbers lie, right? Look at Mbappe's match rating. An 8. How is that? Mbappe was shit yesterday. I don't know what's happened to Mbappe. We didn't get Kylian Mbappe. We got Ethan Mbappe. I'm convinced that PSG have cloned this guy and sent us a shit version of himself. I think the real Mbappe is chained up somewhere underneath Paris in the catacombs, because this cannot be the same Mbappe that I was watching tear up the Champions League and cook defenders in League One. This can't be the same Mbappe. I think yesterday, yeah, he made some good runs. He's finding himself in some real good situations. But this guy's shooting is awful. Every time he takes a shot, he's shooting directly at the goalkeeper, or it's going wide. Yesterday, when he scored from that Rodrygo assist, he had no choice but to score that. It was an open net. He couldn't miss. It would have been harder to miss that than to score it. But this guy cannot finish to save his life at the moment. He can't finish chances for Real Madrid. He can't finish chances for France. What is going on? Oh, he needs time. He needs to adjust. How do you need time to put the ball into the back of the net? You're finding yourself in real good situations. The Mbappe that I used to see, he's finishing those chances. This guy's conversion rate has to be awful at the moment. 8 match rating. See, this is why it's important, chat, to watch games with your eyes. Don't watch games on the stat sheet. Okay? Trust what you're seeing out there. Numbers lie. Your eyes do not lie. Numbers lie, though. I think Rodrygo, if it wasn't for Courtois, he would have been the man of the match. Fantastic performance from him. Was the best outfield player. Everything good that we had going for us offensively came from Rodrygo's side. From kickoff, he was on smoke. Created the assist for Mbappe. Was taking on his defenders. Was being real aggressive. Rodrygo is one of the best wingers in the world. I try to tell these fans this during the summer. How many times did I argue with people that wanted us to sell Rodrygo, that wanted us to drop him for Arda Güler? And I told you, Rodrygo deserves to start. Rodrygo is an absolute baller. There is no circumstance, unless he performed shit, that I would have wanted to drop him, that I would not have wanted him out there. He showed yesterday why Carlo wants him starting. This is Mr. Champions League. This is Man City's owner that we're talking about here. Excellent performance from Rodrygo yesterday. And again, it was between him and Courtois for man of the match. I think Vinicius had a decent game, but he could have been a lot better, right? I don't think that he did enough. Midfield, Jude, first game back in over a month. I think he played well. I don't necessarily agree with him going out there and starting, right? I thought Arda Güler should have started in midfield, right? I don't really like that Jude, who's been out since the Mallorca game, gets thrown right back into a high pressurized situation, especially considering that he's come back from injury a few weeks early. Why risk him like that? Our midfield looks unbalanced, though, in terms of we have 3 good players there, right? Jude, Tchouaméni, Valverde. But all of them are better off the ball. So now who in that midfield is going to be able to control it? Who in that midfield is going to be able to slow down the game, to link with the front 3? We don't have anybody that can do that, because all these guys are engines and workhorses. That's the issue that we have. No Toni Kroos. We have nobody that can control the ball. We have no deep line playmaker. And we got to figure out how we can adjust. But I think, for all in all, look, Jude had a decent game. Valverde could have been better. I think Tchouaméni, though, he cooked. That pass, by the way, to Rodrygo that led to the Mbappe goal, what a pass. I try and tell you guys this. Tchouaméni is arguably the best defensive midfielder in the world. I told you guys, we don't need Rodri. And we'll talk about that after this. But Tchouaméni on the ball, sound. Tchouaméni off the ball, monster. We got him. Camavinga's coming back soon. We're good at the DM position. He had a really good game yesterday. The back line, I was disappointed. Carlo really pissed me off by starting Carvajal at center back and then Vasquez at right back. I'm sorry, chat. Lucas Vasquez has been here forever. But this guy is not a starter. He needs to be coming off the bench at all times. Unless we're playing a really shit team, I don't want to see Lucas Vasquez starting unless there's injuries. This guy put us in so many bad predicaments yesterday. How many times did he misplace a pass that could have led to a goal? I counted at least 2 or 3 times. Danny Carvajal, I think he did a decent job yesterday, but I don't want my 5'7" right back playing at center back. Militao should have started. I told you guys when we were playing Real Sociedad that it was idiotic for Militao to start that game, considering that he just came back from injury possibly. Why did he start against Real Sociedad? Jesus Vallejo could have started that game. Militao should have started the Champions League. But no, you start him against Sociedad just to bench him against Stuttgart. Make no sense in my opinion. Because I didn't see any reports about Militao suffering a setback. But I said, yo, why risk him against Sociedad? And if we can't start Jesus Vallejo, why is he in the squad? Because he's fit. If this guy cannot play against Stuttgart, why is Jesus Vallejo in this team? If you're not going to use him, we should have terminated his contract. But this is the board's fault. We were in this same situation 12 months ago. We had injuries, right? Tchouaméni had to play center back. Carvajal had to play center back. And we had a chance to address that issue this summer. And the board said, nah, we'll just risk it again. Well, last season, we had Toni Kroos. This season, we don't. So how are we going to survive all these injuries this time? I think Rodrygo had a decent game, scored the goal, which made his performance look a lot better. And Ferland Mendy didn't play that well. Courtois, man of the match. I don't blame him for that goal. How many saves is he supposed to make? This guy was saving big chance after big chance. And then big up to everybody that's in here. I'm about to get into your comments, but I want to show you guys the positioning of the team, right? So look at this, chat. I love this positioning. This is ideally what we need to be seeing, right? Carlo has obviously given them more instruction in terms of to make sure you guys are staying in your position a majority of the time. Rodrygo on the right wing. Mbappe stayed central. Like, the positioning is not a problem. For me, the issue is because a lot of people want to make it seem like Mbappe can't work in this team. He can. Mbappe just needs to find his shooting boots. We're creating chances for him. The issue that we have, and the reason why we look so shit, is because of our midfield and our back line. They can't control the ball. They're getting ran through. But this positioning is exactly what we need for perfect balance. We got to talk about my guy, Endrick. Endrick. He needs more minutes. Endrick needs more minutes. To be honest, I think Endrick needs a start. What is that? 2 goals in about 23 minutes of total playtime this season? Instant impact every time he comes off the bench. And when they subbed on Endrick, I told you guys he was going to score. If you were in my watch along, did I not tell you guys that Endrick was going to score? I called it. This guy has a rocket. Every time he hits the ball, that should look like it's traveling 1,000 miles per hour. He needs to start some games, bro. It's honestly not fair to him. It's not. I got to watch Mbappe shoot at the keeper every damn time. But Endrick comes off the bench. And by the way, the goal that he took, let me show you guys a screenshot real quick. The goal that this man took, that shows you his mentality. He's different. That was at the end of the game. 3, or you could say 4v2 counterattack. You got Mbappe on the left. You got Vinicius on your right. And look at where he decided to shoot from. He said, yo, I'm shooting this. I'm not passing it. And I remember during the watch along, I'm like, yo, pass it. Pass it. And then when he shot it, I was like, oh my God, he shot that. And then he scored it. Do you know how much you have to back yourself to do that? Because if that does not go into the back of the net, he's getting cooked right now. But I rate it. I rate it. Sometimes you got to just shoot it yourself. You know that you're trying to earn more minutes. If you're Endrick, right? Carlo's giving you these make-a-wish minutes. He's bringing you on in like the 88th, 89th minute. Yeah, you got to shoot that motherfucker. You got to back yourself. And what a goal that was. By the way, Endrick has more UCL goals than Lamine Yamal. Just wanted to point that out. I'm not seeing nobody talk about, oh, you only ever see black and white pictures of Endrick. And, oh, Madrid PR. What happened? It's real quiet for the people that want to talk shit about Endrick. It's super quiet. What happened? When I try to tell you guys, yo, he's actually a good player. Oh, you're just saying that because he plays for Madrid. Oh, you're just... What happened? Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. This guy got a big... Bro, this guy has... I don't even know how to describe it. The mentality to shoot that. When you got Mbappe and Vinny to your left and right. Big balls. Got some big balls. Because you have to. And then you shoot from there. It's not like we were in the box. This man shot from distance. And I wish I could show you the goal without this stream getting sniped. But the power on every shot that he takes. This guy might have the strongest legs in the damn team. Now, some people might say goalkeeper error and whatnot. I don't care. Yes, he still scored it. But Endrick does deserve more minutes. How many times you guys have heard me complain about this guy only getting subbed on in the 88th minute, 89th minute? I'm like, yo, bro, Carlo, why do you keep subbing him on at these times? What can he possibly do in the 88th minute? And I think Endrick, with how he's looked when he's gotten his chances, he's knocking on the door. I'm telling you this right now. Our next game is against Espanyol. I would drop Mbappe for that. Give Endrick a start. Why can't Endrick start against Espanyol? Sub Mbappe on second half. Nobody should be untouchable in this team, even though we know that there are untouchables. But Endrick, I think Stan right now is a much better striker than Mbappe is, because Mbappe cannot put the ball to the back of the net to save his life. How many shots does he need? I'm telling you. But, man, give my guy Bobby Charlton some more minutes, man. Stop subbing him on in the 88th minute. Bring my guy on around the 70th minute. And also, I think, just kind of going back to just the overall game, right, before I get into your chats, I think Rodrygo being subbed off was an absolute disgrace. Rodrygo was our best player aside from Courtois. Why is he being taken off? How did Vinny and Mbappe end up playing the entire 93 minutes? But Rodrygo gets taken off. This shows me that Carlo already has his subs in his mind. Like, before the game starts, Carlo already knows who he wants to take off, who he wants to bring on. Because based off how that game was going, Rodrygo deserved to be on the pitch the entire time. Mbappe should have been subbed off, to be honest with you. But yeah, those are my thoughts on yesterday's game. Not a good performance. I don't care what the 3-1 tells me. We were shit. and we're going to get battered. We're going to get battered. If these performances do not pick up, we will get slapped when we go against Atleti in a few weeks. I don't know when we play Liverpool, but they'll cook us. You think if you give Liverpool all those chances, they're not going to finish? You think if you give Mo Salah those opportunities, they're not going to put a couple away? You think if you give Antoine Griezmann, Julian Alvarez, you think if you give these guys those opportunities, they're not going to put them away? Don't Atletico Madrid have Sorloth? Last time we played Sorloth, he scored 4 goals on us. Imagine what they're going to do with the amount of opportunities that we allow. The opening 30 minutes, we always get cooked. We are literally second half FC. We scored in the first 30 seconds of the second half. Told you, man. You'll see aliens take over planet Earth before you see Madrid start a game fast. Shocking. Shocking. And again, got to give credit to Stuttgart, because to play like that at the Bernabeu, fair enough, bro. Fair enough. But what you guys saying in the chat, man? Big up to everybody that's in here. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. Turn on those post notifications so you guys don't miss any time I drop a new video. And also, guys, we will be live in a little bit after this stream. We're going to be doing Inter Milan versus Man City. That should be a banger. Let me see what you guys saying. Yo, big up, Sam, my guy. Neuer's better? Nah, not right now. Neuer's washed. I like the vid, and my beard finally connects. Y'all should try. Bro, that's what I'm saying, man. Look, if you like the video, some say that your beard might just grow. You know, it is what it is. Yo, 2K, what's going on, bro? Bro, I think the problem is the pressing and the space between the midfield and the attack. If we can't press, just don't press and sit back. Yeah, but then also when we have the ball, we can't string together 3 passes before we give it away. Can't even finish his plate. What happened to my boy? Yo, they're saying that Mbappe's washed at 25, G. AC Milan last at home. Yeah, I saw that. Rodrygo is the best thing out of Bangladesh in years. Yo, he's the best Bengali baller that I know. Literally. Yeah, that brother looks washed, mate. He's not looking sharp. He can't even... Bro, I forgot to bring that up. He was in behind on the defense. He could have been through on goal. This man lost track of the ball. Oh, my God. Even when he does step overs, when he's doing his little tricks, he just looks shit. Like, and the thing is, he's making good runs. It's just everything else about his game is what's been awful. It's actually crazy. Like, brother, ugh. Like, every time Mbappe tries to score a goal, it just makes me want to cry. Because I'm like, bro, you can't shoot better than that? It's crazy. I think we need a 4-man midfield because the pressing is not efficient and teams beat our press way too easily. Well, maybe that is something that will happen when Camavinga comes back, right? When Camavinga's fit, maybe we do go to a 4-man midfield, right? The diamond comes back, and then you got to drop somebody. Somebody must be dropped. And who's that? Who's that going to be that gets dropped? Good thing I'm not the manager, because that could be a little headache. But it's a good problem to have, right? Not the same without Cruz. That's a fact. And Jude kind of alluded to that as well. You know, just about, yo, like, we don't have Toni Kroos. So it kind of does make things a little bit more difficult. And we do have to adjust to not having him here, right? And we'll talk about that in a second. Not in a second, but later on in the show, because Jude's been saying exactly what I've been saying, right? But apparently, because I'm American, I don't know ball. Some people tell me in the DMs. Yo, all right, Sam, what's going on, bro? Watch the game, and the only thing that, teams need to move on and stop using Toni Kroos' departure. That's a fact. Because at the end of the day, okay, yes, like, we all know that we don't have Toni Kroos, right? We all know that that's a big loss in that midfield. But we got to find a way to make it work. Because unless he's going to come back out of retirement, what are we going to do? right? Should we just accept that we don't have Cruz and we're going to just be shit for this entire season? I don't want to do that. I don't want to watch bad football for the next 9 months, 8 months. Do you guys want to do that? So the only thing that will save you guys is how solid the defense is. That front line got negative chemistry. That midfield has no DOP. Now, the front line does not have negative chemistry. I think that you're just running with that narrative because that's just what's easy to point out. But if you watched the game yesterday, there was nothing wrong with the front three. If Mbappe just scores the chances that he gets, nobody's talking about the front three. What was wrong yesterday with the chemistry? Go ahead, tell me. Tell me, RSM, if you're still here. I feel like that's such an easy thing to say. Oh, the chemistry with the front three is off. How? Mbappe is getting in these scoring positions. Rodrygo cooked yesterday on the right wing. I think, yeah, Vinny didn't have that good of a performance. But, I mean, what player puts in a 9 out of 10 every single game? So what's wrong with the front three right now? I showed you the average positioning. They're not getting in each other's way. This Mbappe's got to score. And when Mbappe comes off the left, where everybody tells you, oh, Mbappe needs to be on the left. Okay, fair enough. Even when he's gotten chances off the left, he's still not being able to put it into the back of the net. The front three do not have a problem. Mbappe has a shooting and finishing problem. I would say these issues will eventually come to haunt Real Madrid, but y'all are real life same club and will continue to win. Bro, I low-key think that we're in for a rude awakening this season. And again, like a lot of Madrid fans online are just trying to gloss over these performances, acting like it's not a big deal because we're still winning. All right. If they think that it's still sustainable, then, fair enough. Fair enough. Rajat, what's up, bro? Guys like Vasquez and Vallejo should be let go, and we need to raise the level in that squad. City has Akanji, Ake, Ruben Diaz. They can all start at any time. Good point. Good point. For the fact that Carlo removed him while being the best player on the pitch after Courtois is crazy. Bro, I'm telling you. Mbappe still drifting. There's nothing wrong with him drifting. Look. This is the average positioning. RSM. From yesterday's game. There's nothing wrong with Mbappe being right here. He doesn't have to be exactly down the middle. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that positioning yesterday. So again, it's an easy cop-out because the goals aren't being scored at a rate that people think they should be, which is fair. There's nothing wrong with the front three. Didn't Fran do good? Fran was okay when he came on. Mendy wasn't good, though. Wagwan Donna. Hey, big up Donna. Member super chat. Mr. Will has been and it's been a joy knowing you. Let's toast. Look, big up Donna. I appreciate that. And big up to you, man. Big up to everybody that's a member of the channel as well. Mbappe benched by Endrick. Uncomfortable convos. He needs to be dropped. Again, I could give Mbappe a little bit of praise because he was making some good runs yesterday. But if you're not going to be scoring when you're getting the opportunities, what's the point? My guy's out here looking like a French Nicholas Jackson. It's crazy. Mariano Diaz. Also, Will, stop this shamelessness, bro. The goalie should have stopped that shot easily. He got his hands to it. Doesn't matter. He didn't save it. What do you mean stop it? So then you can't celebrate any goal because then a goalkeeper technically should be saving everything. Then is it Endrick's fault that the goalkeeper didn't do a good job? Like you still got to take the shot and you still got to score it, especially when you decide to not lay it off to Vinny or Mbappe. Like, why are we acting like that's not a very impressive goal? What are you talking about? What are we talking about? He's a good player. Bro, nobody honestly compares him to Pele. The baby Pele thing is a joke. The same way that we call him, or that people call him Bobby Charlton. Like, it's just a joke, bro. Like, it's because everything, like, before he joined Madrid, all his pictures looked like they were from the 50s and 60s. Like, he just looks like a throwback kind of player. So people just made the joke. But nobody actually believes that he's going to be as good as Pele. Now, can he? He has a lot of potential, but to be the next Pele, you got to be damn near. You got to be a generational player. Do I think Endrick will be generational? I don't know yet. I think he'll be a very good striker, but generational, I'm not sure. But again, because it's Madrid, people just want to make everything negative and run with it like people actually think this guy's going to be the next coming of Pele. It's literally just because everything that this guy did looked like it happened in the 1950s. But all right. Mbappe needs to improve his first touch as well. Fair. All right. That's a lot of comments, guys. But if I was to just sit here and read all the comments, we'd be here all day. So look, we do have to move on, chat. But big up to everybody that's in here, man. Definitely make sure that you guys smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. But I want to go and get into some transfer news, right? Now, these Rodri links, every day a Rodri link is coming out with him being linked with the move to Real Madrid. So the latest report, right, they're saying that Real Madrid are interested in Rodri, but they believe they don't have what it takes to make it happen. There is no intention at Real Madrid to match City's transfer fee demands and what they offered to the player. But Real Madrid are willing to wait for the outcome of the 115 charges to see what happens. So I actually find this very interesting. Now, let me start by saying this. One, we don't need Rodri. That's the first thing. Don't need Rodri. I think Tchouaméni is just as good as him. Tchouaméni's also a lot younger. I also got Camavinga. I don't need Rodri. Rodri's about to be 30 years old, right? He's going to cost a lot of money. It's not worth it. And I don't think that Rodri even fits into what Madrid are trying to do. Madrid are trying to go after younger players that they can develop. Why would you go out there and want to spend over 100 million on a DM that doesn't even improve your team? Because again, we already have Tchouaméni. You have Camavinga, who's also going to be there as well, that could play in that position. So going after Rodri as a midfield target for next summer would be a waste of time. Now, the reason why this report is interesting is because it brings up the 115 charges that Man City are facing, right? They're in a legal battle right now, I believe, with the Premier League. And there's a possibility that if Man City get found guilty on all these charges, right, they could be facing a significant punishment. Now, me personally, I don't think anything crazy is going to happen to Man City. I don't think that they're going to be relegated. I don't think that they're going to be given a point reduction. I don't see any of that happening. I think if they're guilty, what happens to Man City is a transfer ban. But everybody that's hoping that they get relegated to the championship or all their titles get stripped, it's not going to happen. Man City make the Premier League a lot of money. They're arguably the best team in the world. UEFA, the English FA, they need Man City. Now, Man City are not the biggest club in England, but they're the best. And it's not close. They're the best run as well. They're going to probably five-peat the Premier League this season. They're single-handedly responsible for turning the Premier League into a farmers' league. But with that being said, money talks, right? The way that you see the Prem deal with Everton, right? Like how Everton got a few point reductions, that's not going to happen in Man City. Football is very corrupt. All these organizations are corrupt. All City got to do, let's be real, is pay off a few people, right? Line up somebody's pockets, you know what I'm saying? Drop a little money here, drop a little money there, and they'll be good. And the thing is, a lot of people are crying about City, but in my opinion, I think what they're doing is fantastic. They don't even buy world-class players. How many world-class players has Pep bought at Man City? I'd say Haaland. Who else? He makes all these players world class. So it's not even like he's just going out there buying the best players. The reason that we rate all these Man City players as world class is because Pep made them that. Was Ederson world class coming from Benfica? Was Ruben Diaz world class coming from Benfica? Jack Grealish wasn't even world class at Aston Villa. How could you be world class? You never played Champions League football. Phil Foden from the academy. Rico Lewis is not world class, but he looks very good from the academy. Kevin De Bruyne was from Wolfsburg. And I remember people saying that City might have spent too much money because he was considered a Chelsea reject. Gundo. Was he world class when he was brought in? Bernardo Silva was not world class when he was brought in. So what are we talking about here? Vardiol was not world class when he was bought. So everybody that's crying, they're going to be very disappointed when nothing crazy happens to Man City. I think at most they get a real big fine and they get a transfer ban. Now, if in a hypothetical dream scenario, right? Let's just go into an alternate universe. Let's say Man City are guilty of all these charges and they get relegated. Now, this does bring up a real good issue of, do their players stay? Right? Or if there is a thing where they do have to sell, then okay, yes, I can see a scenario where Madrid might be interested in maybe going after Rodri. But at the end of the day, I think this report is absolute nonsense. You don't need him. We don't. We got Tchouaméni. We got Camavinga. I'm good. We need a deep line playmaker. Rodri is not that. What does Rodri offer you that Tchouaméni can't? Rodri is slightly better on the ball. That's about it. But Tchouaméni is good on the ball as well. So why would I do this deal? And then I also want to touch on the report saying that Real Madrid don't believe they have what it takes to make it happen. Nonsense. If Man City asked for 150 million, if Madrid really wanted Rodri, they could go spend 150 million. We made $1 billion last season. The first club ever to make over $1 billion in a single season. And you think that we can't afford Rodri? No, we refuse to match what they want for Rodri. Not that we don't have what it takes. You don't think Rodri would leave Man City for Real Madrid? A Spanish player wouldn't leave Manchester for Madrid? Are you crazy? I don't like how that was worded, as if we don't have what it takes. We have what it takes to make anything happen. But we don't want him like that. I'm sure, obviously, he is one of the best players in the world. So, yeah, there's going to be interest there. But it's not concrete. Trust me, Rodri will not be a Real Madrid player next season. I'm willing to put any amount of money on that. Because it's a pointless signing. Now, if he was on a free, the only way I see this happening is if his contract was running down. If Rodri would have been a free agent next summer, then I see it happening. But the fact that we'd have to give them over 100 million for a midfielder that's going to be playing in a position that we already are covered at, it's idiotic. What are you guys saying? I'd replace Benzema over Mbappe any day. What do you mean by that? Drop Vinny, move Mbappe out wide, not permanently, but if you desperately need to drop someone, Mbappe's game time. Bro, dropping Vinicius is crazy. This is Vinicius' team. You know that, right? If anybody's getting dropped, it's Mbappe. I was just winning a Champions League and La Liga and Spanish Super Cup with Vinicius being the main man. So why would I drop him? I know that it works with Vinicius. So why is he getting dropped? Mbappe is not above the pecking order in terms of he's not above Vinicius. He's not even above Rodrygo to me. Again, these guys have won me multiple Champions Leagues. These guys have won me La Ligas. A lot of trophies, Club World Cups, everything with them. So I know they can do it. Just go back to last season. Mbappe is the one that can't do it yet. Couldn't help PSG win it. And now he's at Madrid. He has to get in where he could fit in. And if you can't fit in where we need you, then you got to tell Mbappe. It's that simple, in my opinion. Can Jude do the Toni Kroos role? No, because Jude's not that good on the ball. Jude can't be a deep lying playmaker because Jude needs to be up the pitch, right? We need Jude to crash the box late as well. Jude is an engine in the midfield. He's all over the pitch. You can't just ask Jude to sit back and try and pick out passes because Jude can't even pass the ball as well as Toni Kroos can. We have nobody in our team that can replace Toni Kroos or has similar qualities to him. Comparing to how fluid the front three looked with Benzema as the 9, this is levels away from what it should be. Well, I mean, yeah, Benzema is a better player than Mbappe. And Benzema was also playing with Gareth Bale and Cristiano Ronaldo for a lot of his time. And then after they left, right, then you had Benzema and you also had Vinny. On top of that, Benzema and Mbappe are two different profiles. Benzema is a false 9, right? He drops deep, which allows the wingers to cut inside and make runs in. And then you have Benzema, who was linking the play from midfield to then the wingers. So it's a little bit different, right? But yeah, Benzema is a better player than Mbappe is. Mbappe has better numbers, but just as a footballer, Benzema is better than him. So I think that's kind of unfair to make that comparison. But chances are being created for Mbappe, RSM. I don't know how often you watch us. I know that you said that you watched us yesterday, but then you would have saw Mbappe had about 4 chances that he could have scored from. Should he have 15 chances in one game? Like, how many chances should Mbappe be having before he scores? That's my thing. He's making good runs. He's putting himself in good situations. But when he's receiving the ball, he's either losing it or his shots are just awful. That's the only problem. Bro, if we play City, you said, yeah, bro, we're cooked. I agree. Nah, you're wrong. I think you're wrong, bro. I think you're wrong. Since I think early on in the season, well, it still is early on. So if you would have said this before the Real Betis game, you're right. But the Real Betis game, it looked a lot better. It looked fluid. Against Real Sociedad, the front three looked fluid. And then against Stuttgart, the front three looked fluid. I'm just waiting for Mbappe to regain his PSG form. Because again, if he's scoring, bro, Vinicius creates a lot of opportunities for him. Rodrygo creates a lot of opportunities for him. He's just not being clinical, you know? What's up next? Bro, Xabi with his back three in Madrid next season will change the game. I'm a little bit nervous about Xabi Alonso's system because we don't have the personnel, in my opinion, that makes that system work. So now what happens when Xabi? I mean, look, we'll have to figure it out, but I don't believe a back three. Well, like, what does Xabi run? What is like a 3-5-2-1? I don't know if we got the personnel for that. Well, you say it's a joke, and I could find you 1,000 tweets of Madrid accounts arguing with others that he's going to be as good as Pele. Yes, and I could also find 1,000 Chelsea fan accounts that are telling me that, that Cole Palmer is already the best right winger in the world. So, like, what are we talking about? Saying that Cole Palmer is the best winger in the world. You know that Twitter is a place full of idiots. You can't get your footballing opinions from Twitter. Said Donna turned this into Omegle. City faked their books. Haaland for 60 million. Well, he did have a release clause. That is how much they paid Dortmund for him. But Haaland makes, like, his wages and bonuses is crazy. But the actual price from him to Dortmund, he had a release clause. Vardiol was already world class at Leipzig. Okay. All right, bro. Yes, Haaland was world class. I agree with that. Mbappe with 1 year left on his contract was 180 million, and we're supposed to believe City, bro. But Mbappe didn't have a release clause. Next, Haaland had a release clause. When you have a release clause, that's all that it takes. As long as you can convince the player to join your club, you know. But yeah, let's move forward though. I got a little bit more time. I do also want to talk about Miguel Gutiérrez, right? Now, you guys know who Miguel Gutiérrez is, right? He's the left back at Girona. And if you're not aware, right, we sold him to Girona before last season, right? And he's from our academy, and he looks very good, right? He cooked with Girona. Last season, they were one of the surprises in Europe. They came top 4. They played some amazing football. And now they're in the Champions League this season. But I think Girona are going to struggle this season. They got rated, right? They lost Dovbyk. They lost Savio. They lost Yankudo. They also lost one of their midfielders. Like, we see it time and time again, right? When a small team has a really good season, people come in and take your best talent off of you. They buy them. But Miguel Gutiérrez surprisingly stayed. Now, he was getting linked to teams like Dortmund. He got linked to Manchester United over the summer, but nothing concrete happened, right? Now, the reason that we're talking about a Girona left back is because Madrid have a buyback option in his deal that they could activate after this season. And that would only cost us 8 million, right? Now, our left back situation at the club, I'd say, is solidified. You got Ferland Mendy, you got Fran Garcia. We're also trying to sign Alphonso Davies. So if we do decide to buy back Miguel Gutiérrez for only 8 million, mind you, he's worth 30 million with how well he's played. I think the idea would be to flip him. So like we buy him back for 8 million. But if Arsenal, Bayer Leverkusen, Bayern Munich, or Bologna, the teams that are interested in him, want to get him, they'll have to negotiate with Real Madrid. So how it will work is Girona would get 8 million from Madrid, right? Miguel Gutiérrez would come back to Real Madrid, and then we sell him to another club for about 25 to 30 million, and then we make profit. That's good business. Now, I actually rate this guy. I think he's solid defensively, but he's really good going forward. Like on the ball, Miguel Gutiérrez, he cooks. And there's some people that will tell you they prefer him over Fran Garcia. But I just don't see Madrid buying him to actually keep him in the first team. I think this is only to flip him for profit. Right? And we'll see how he progresses this season. Right? He is one of Girona's main players. And now that they're in the Champions League, he's going to be playing better competition. But I just don't think Girona are going to go on another Cinderella run like what they did last season. They don't have the talent like that anymore. And they're going to be in the Champions League playing against much better competition. I don't think that they get out the Champions League group stage. I think they'll probably finish maybe 7th, 8th in La Liga, which for a small club like them, without a big budget, don't have the money to go out there and buy world-class players, that's not bad. So, yeah, let's keep an eye on this, right? Because maybe we do buy him and then we sell Fran Garcia. I don't know. For me, Arsenal, Bayer Leverkusen, Bayern Munich, Bologna, they're interested in Miguel Gutiérrez. And instead of letting Girona get the 25 million or 30 million, we should be buying him back and then flipping him. I think that makes the most sense in my opinion. But he's a good player, though. He is. And then, let me see. Last thing that I want to talk about before we wrap up, right, chat, is Madrid are reportedly going to be in the market next summer for a center mid, right? Now, I personally think we do need a midfielder, but I believe that we need a center back and a right back more than we need another midfielder because it's looking real thin in those other areas. Now, You see us getting linked to Rodri, right? You see us getting linked to Florian Wirtz, right? We're getting linked to a few players, but we're not being linked to anybody that I actually think fits the profile of a midfielder that we need. Again, Toni Kroos is no longer here. You see how that midfield is struggling without having somebody that can control the ball and that has excellent passing. Now, you guys already know who I'm going to say. Enzo Fernandez. That, to me, should be the midfielder that we go after. But he's not the end-all, be-all. I just really rate him, right? I remember somebody the other day told me Fabian Ruiz can play that role. Now, I don't watch Fabian Ruiz that much. But maybe he is an option, right? I have to look at him a little bit more. But we just have other priorities right now. Deep line playmaker. That's what we need. We have nobody in the squad that can do it. We don't need a 10, right? We don't need Florian Wirtz. We got Arda Güler. You got Brahim Diaz that can also play in that position. Why would you bring in a 10? If it's not Jamal Musiala, don't bring me in a central attacking midfielder next summer. We don't need any more 8s in terms of box to box. We don't need any DMs. You got Camavinga. You got Tchouaméni. So the only kind of midfielder that we should be looking at is one that can sit back and that has real good passing. You guys let me know who you want. As I said, I'm going to be saying Enzo until it's no longer a possibility. But this is one to think about just because, like, who would Madrid be looking at to go get? But let me see what you guys are saying. Get Hakimi. He can defend. Hakimi is really not that good defensively. Hakimi is better going forward. We'll sign players. Yeah, maybe next summer. Because we're not going to spend money in January. Madrid never spend money in January. Ever. It doesn't matter what we're going through. Like, we rarely spend money in January. They lost Alex Garcia. Yeah, Garcia. I think he went to Bayer Leverkusen, right? Love Miguel Gutiérrez. Why do Barca fans keep talking about how good Yamal is? He is great. He's not LM, left midfielder, you mean? Someone should tell Hakimi, who runs his contract down, and join us again for free because, PSG and Real Madrid aren't going to do any business for a while. No way. But I think Hakimi signed a new contract, so I don't think that could even happen for real. If Furlan does leave, then Gutiérrez will probably come. No, well, Mendy just signed a new contract, literally, this week. So he's here for 3 more years. And I think the left-back options are going to be him and Alphonso Davies. And I think Fran Garcia is going to have to get sold or get loaned out, unless he doesn't mind being just the third left-back. Because, you know, we got to maybe have a third left-back because of injuries and whatnot. Unless we go for a center back in the winter, bro, you've had to recently start supporting Madrid. Bro, we don't spend money like that in the winter, my guy. If Florentino's old ass doesn't buy a center back this winter transfer market, I'm going to crash out. Just crash out now. Crash out now. It's not going to happen. When is your next movie coming out? I think 2028. Musiala or Foden? Musiala. Musiala is unrealistic. No, it's not. His contract only has 2 years left. If he doesn't sign a new deal by next summer, he's very realistic. Now, if he signs a new deal, then yeah, it's unrealistic. Let's get Pedro Porro, maybe? Is that who you mean? Low-key KDB could be a shout. I mean, look, Kevin De Bruyne's contract is running out next summer. Who knows? But I think Kevin De Bruyne wants Saudi because of the money that they're offering. We're not going to offer him any crazy amount of bread like what Saudi are. But, yo, big up. Big up, man. Shout out to everybody that was in here. Great episode of Madrid Hype, right? Make sure you guys smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to turn on those post notifications. And we'll be back in a few hours, right? We're going to be doing Man City versus Inter Milan. That game should be an absolute banger. But, yeah, man, when I end this, it's going to take you over there, right? So you guys can just hit that like button. And, yeah, as I said, guys, I'll catch you in a bit. right? Great stream, W chat, and in a bit, people, peace.